Maya Torres burst through the wrong door 17 minutes late, her broken heel catching on an expensive carpet. Coffee stains bloomed across her resume, and her oversized portfolio bag knocked against the doorframe with a thud that announced her chaos to the world. This was not sterling marketing. Behind a desk of polished black walnut sat Ethan Cross, billionaire, CEO, and absolutely not the hiring manager she'd researched. He was younger than his magazine cover suggested, dark-haired and exhausted, trapped in a video conference that displayed a dozen concerned board members. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from. And if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow I've saved something extra special for you. Before Maya could apologize and flee, Ethan's eyes locked onto hers with desperate calculation. He muted his microphone and stood. "I've been waiting for you." "I'm sorry, what?" His hand found her back, gentle but urgent. "Play along. Please. Just 5 minutes." The door opened. A silver-haired woman entered, her skepticism carved into professional lines. "Mr. Cross, the board is waiting." "Patricia, this is Maya Torres." Ethan's voice carried authority born from years of being obeyed. "My brand consultant and partner." The word hung like smoke after gunfire. Partner. Maya's lungs forgot how to work as she realized she'd accidentally walked into something far more complicated than the wrong office. What the hell just happened? Maya's voice rose the moment Patricia left. Ethan ran his hands through his hair, composure cracking. "My board's been pressuring me to present a stable personal life before the IPO. When you appeared, I made a split-second decision. Impulsive and unfair to you." "Unfair? You drafted me into corporate fraud. Let me make you an offer." He pulled out a contract. "Legitimate consulting work. $150,000 for 6 months, plus $50,000 completion bonus. Your actual skills, which are remarkable based on your resume, applied to our brand strategy. The relationship part is just public appearances, galas, board dinners. Clear boundaries." Maya's breath caught. $200,000. David's tuition. Rent. Freedom from constant financial terror. "Why me?" "Because everyone in my life wants something. You didn't even know who I was." That panic in your eyes was genuine, not calculated. Before Maya could respond, the door slammed open. A sharp-eyed woman stormed in, fury radiating from her tailored suit. "Who the hell is this, Ethan?" "Maya Torres, meet my sister Sienna." Sienna's glare could cut glass. "Another gold digger? How much did he offer you to play this pathetic game?" The text arrived at 7:15, car at 8 o'clock. "Bring portfolio." Patricia Chun. Maya hadn't confirmed she was accepting. They already knew she would. The day unfolded in controlled chaos. High-end boutiques where dresses cost more than her rent. Etiquette coaching on which fork to use and how to deflect intrusive questions. A briefing on Ethan's history. MIT graduate, founded Cross Tech with Marcus Webb, lost his way somewhere between passion project and billion-dollar empire. Marcus appeared during lunch, his casual warmth cutting through Patricia's efficiency. "I'm going to be straight with you. Ethan's been used by people who saw dollar signs instead of a person. Don't be another one. I'm here because I need the money and he needs someone outside his world." "That's it." "Is it?" Marcus studied her. "That catalyst campaign from Morrison Design. That was you, wasn't it?" Maya's throat tightened. "My boss presented it as his work." "Did you fight it?" "With what?" "He had the files, the credit, the power. I had nothing." By evening, Maya stood in an emerald gown she'd never afford, barely recognizing her reflection. Tomorrow, she'd step into Ethan's world and pray she could survive it. The cameras erupted as Maya stepped from the car, Ethan's hand steady at her back. The Chicago Museum of Contemporary Art glittered with wealth and calculation, every guest assessing her worth with surgical precision. Richard Cross, Ethan's uncle and board chairman, cornered them immediately. "How convenient that an unemployed designer suddenly becomes my nephew's partner just before our IPO. I'm an independent consultant," Maya said, channeling confidence she didn't feel. "Smaller operations allow more creative freedom." Then Vanessa Laurent appeared, Ethan's ex, tech journalist, predator in a red dress. Maya Torres, independent brand consultant. How refreshingly vague. Her smile was a threat. "We should talk sometime. I'm writing about consultants disrupting traditional marketing. Your background would be fascinating." The evening blurred. Maya surprised herself by charming venture capitalists with honest observations, connecting with nonprofit founders over accessibility concerns. When dinner ended, she escaped to the terrace for air. Vanessa cornered her in the restroom. I'm going to investigate your background. Every job, every reference. If you're hiding anything, the world will know Ethan Cross's judgment is as flawed as ever. Later, dancing with Ethan, their boundaries blurred dangerously. His hand at her waist felt too real, too tempting. Maya woke to her phone exploding. Photos from the gala had gone viral, her face plastered across gossip sites, tech blogs, social media. The comments section was brutal. Gold digger. Not in his league. After his money like all the others. Then James Morrison struck. Her former boss called reporters with fabricated claims that Maya had stolen designs, taken credit for others' work, left under suspicious circumstances. Patricia called at 7:30. Emergency meeting. Morrison's positioning himself as a concerned employer, warning people about a dishonest opportunist. At Cross Tech, lawyers dissected Maya's history, while Ethan's jaw tightened with controlled fury. She laid out the truth. James had stolen her Catalyst campaign, manipulated files, accepted awards for her work. She'd quit because fighting him required resources she didn't have. The emergency board meeting was hostile. Richard saw opportunity. You've lied to this board, manufactured a relationship to manipulate us. This demonstrates exactly the poor judgment we feared. Then Sienna entered, tablet in hand. 7 former Morrison employees confirm he systematically stole junior designers' work. 3 testify that Catalyst was Maya's creation. Morrison's agency is under investigation for employment violations. She's not a con artist. She's someone who escaped exploitation. The battle lines were drawn. Telling and preparing this story took us a lot of time. So if you're enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now back to the story. The board meeting had ended in tense stalemate. Marcus's motion to restructure oversight authority had 7 votes, but needed 9. Richard retained enough power to be dangerous, though Sienna's evidence had blunted his immediate attack. The compromise. Maya would stay as consultant while the board monitored the situation. Translation. They were being watched, waiting for either of them to slip. You need to get out of the city, Marcus had said afterward. Both of you. The media is camped outside your apartments. Vanessa's building her expose, and you both look like you haven't slept in days. Which was how Maya found herself in Ethan's car Friday evening, driving north toward his estate outside the city, her overnight bag feeling simultaneously too small and too presumptuous. I should tell David where I'm really going, she said, watching Chicago's skyline recede in the side mirror. What did you tell him? Work retreat. Creative strategies session. The lie tasted familiar now, almost comfortable. That was the most dangerous part. He thinks you're amazing, by the way. Keeps talking about your early algorithms like they're poetry. Ethan's grip tightened on the steering wheel. I used to think they were poetry too. Before they became products, market shares, quarterly projections. The vulnerability in his voice made her look over. He'd shed his suit jacket, rolled up his sleeves, and somehow looked more himself than she'd ever seen him. Less CEO, more the MIT graduate who'd built something beautiful before the world got complicated. What happened? Between the dorm room startup and billion-dollar empire. Success happened. Investors who wanted returns instead of innovation. A board that cared more about optics than ethics. My co-founder burning out because the company we built stopped being ours. He glanced at her. Marcus almost left 3 years ago. Said we'd sold our souls for market dominance. He wasn't entirely wrong. The estate emerged from tree-lined roads like something from a different era, stone and glass. Modern but somehow warm, nestled against a lake that reflected the sunset. Nothing like the cold marble mansion she'd expected. My mother designed it, Ethan explained, seeing her expression. Before she died, she believed homes should feel like sanctuaries, not showpieces. Inside, the space breathed with lived-in comfort. Books lined shelves, plants clustered near windows, and the kitchen looked actually used rather than staged. Ethan set down their bags and turned to her with unexpected nervousness. I want to show you something. My real workspace. He led her through corridors to a converted sunroom overlooking the lake. Inside was chaos in the best way. Whiteboards covered in equations and sketches, work tables cluttered with prototypes and circuit boards, screens displaying code in various stages of completion. This was where creation happened, where the CEO disappeared and the inventor remained. "This is where I come when the boardroom suffocates me," he said quietly. "When I need to remember why I started building things in the first place." Maya moved through the space, drawn to a prototype on the center table, something sleek and incomplete, its purpose unclear, but its elegance obvious. "What is it?" "Assistive communication device for people with speech disabilities. Uses AI to predict intent and translate micro-expressions into language." His voice carried a passion absent from corporate presentations. "It'll never make cross-tech money. Too niche, too expensive to develop. But it could change lives." She met his eyes. "So why stop? Build it anyway. With what time? What resources?" "The board would see it as distraction from profitable ventures." "The board doesn't own your nights and weekends." Maya picked up the prototype carefully. "And you're a billionaire, Ethan. You have resources. You're just afraid to use them for something that matters." The words hung between them, sharper than she'd intended. But instead of defensiveness, she saw recognition flicker across his face. "You're right," he said finally. "I've been so focused on managing what I built that I forgot how to build." "Then remember, show me what you're actually passionate about, not what the quarterly reports demand." What followed was hours lost to creation. Ethan explained the device's mechanics while Maya sketched interface concepts, her design brain sparking with ideas about accessibility and intuitive user experience. They ordered pizza that arrived cold because they forgot to eat it, argued cheerfully about aesthetic versus function, and somewhere in the flow of collaborative work, the careful boundaries they'd maintained began dissolving. "Why did you really leave Morrison?" Ethan asked during a break. Both of them sprawled on the floor surrounded by sketches and discarded prototypes. Maya traced a finger along the hardwood. "Because staying meant accepting that my work would never be mine. That men like James would always take credit while I remained invisible." She paused. "I thought leaving meant reclaiming my dignity. Instead, it meant poverty and irrelevance. Your offer was the first time in 6 months someone saw value in what I could create. I see it. Your portfolio, the way you think about problems, it's remarkable, Maya. Morrison was a fool to let you walk away. He didn't let me. I chose to leave. That's even more impressive. Walking away from security because you refused to compromise your integrity." Ethan sat up, his expression intense. "Most people would have stayed, swallowed the injustice, taken the paycheck. Most people aren't supporting a younger brother on freelance income and student loan debt." She met his eyes. "Don't make me noble. I'm practical. Desperate, even. Your offer saved me from eviction and David from dropping out. I didn't take it because I'm brave. I took it because I had no choice. You had a choice. You could have exposed the arrangement, walked away, found another path. You chose to stay and make this work despite the complications." He reached out, his fingers brushing hers where they rested on the floor between them. "That's not desperation. That's courage." The touch sent electricity up her arm. Maya should have pulled away, should have reminded them both about boundaries and contracts and the danger of confusing performance with reality. Instead, she let her hand turn, palm meeting palm, fingers intertwining. "This is dangerous," she whispered. "I know. We agreed to keep this professional. We did." Neither of them moved apart. The moment stretched, loaded with possibility and risk. Maya could see her reflection in his eyes, could feel the warmth radiating from his body, could imagine closing the distance and discovering if the chemistry between them was as real as it felt. The sharp buzz of her phone shattered the spell. David, texting about his computer science assignment, asking if she could look at his code when she got back. The reminder of her real life, of the lies holding this fragile construction together. Maya pulled her hand away, standing abruptly. "I should call him back. He worries when I don't respond." Ethan nodded, disappointment and relief warring in his expression. "Guest room is upstairs, second door. Take your time." She fled to the sanctuary of the guest room, her heart pounding as she called David. He answered on the second ring, enthusiasm pouring through the speaker about algorithms and debugging challenges. Maya listened, offering advice, pretending everything was normal while sitting in a billionaire's guest room wearing his sweatshirt because she'd forgotten pajamas. "You sound happy," David said suddenly. "Different. Is it the job? Or is it him?" "What?" "Ethan, you sound like you do when you're working on something you love. Energized. Like maybe you're finally catching a break." Maya's throat tightened. "Maybe. It's complicated. Life's always complicated. doesn't mean it's not good. He paused. I'm proud of you, Maya, for taking chances, for going after what you want. Mom and Dad would be proud too. After they hung up, Maya sat in the darkness, her brother's words echoing. Going after what you want. But what did she want? The security Ethan's money provided? The creative fulfillment his projects offered? Or the man himself, with his brilliant mind and wounded eyes and the way he looked at her like she was someone worth seeing? A soft knock interrupted her spiral. Maya? You okay? She opened the door to find Ethan holding 2 mugs of tea, his expression concerned. Heard you on the phone with David. Thought you might need this. The gesture, simple, thoughtful, human, broke something inside her. Why are you being so kind to me? Because you deserve kindness. Because you're talented and brave and you walked into my office by accident and somehow became the most real thing in my life. He set down the mugs, his voice dropping. Because every moment with you reminds me who I used to be before I let the world make me into someone I don't recognize. Maya stepped closer, her heart hammering. Ethan, if we do this, if we cross this line, everything gets more complicated. I know, but staying on this side feels like lying to ourselves about what's already happening. The truth of it settled between them. They'd been falling since that first dance at the gala. Maybe since that first moment in his office when desperation had collided with opportunity. One weekend, Maya said finally. We give ourselves 1 weekend to figure out what this is without contracts or arrangements or board meetings. Then we decide if we can actually do this or if we're just caught up in the performance. Ethan's hand cupped her face, his thumb brushing her cheekbone. And if it's real? Then we deal with that complication together. He kissed her then, soft and questioning. And Maya answered by pulling him closer, by letting 6 weeks of carefully maintained distance collapse into honest want. The kiss deepened, his hands in her hair, her fingers gripping his shirt, both of them falling into something that felt inevitable and terrifying and more genuine than anything that had come before. When they finally pulled apart, breathless and wide-eyed, the weekend stretched ahead with new possibility. No cameras, no performance, no lies. Just 2 people trying to figure out if what they'd built on false foundations could become something true. Stay, Ethan whispered against her temple. Not in the guest room. Stay with me. Maya thought of all the reasons she should refuse, all the ways this could end badly. Then she thought of her brother's words, going after what you want, and made her choice. Okay, but we talk. Really talk. No more hiding behind arrangements and contracts. They spent the night wrapped together, talking until dawn crept through the windows. Ethan told her about watching his mother die, about the loneliness of building an empire with no one to share it with, about Vanessa's betrayal and how it had made him believe love was just another transaction. Maya confessed her fears about failing David, about being exposed as a fraud, about wanting Ethan so badly it terrified her because losing this would hurt more than anything James Morrison had ever done. Somewhere in those confessions, between kisses that tasted like tea and truth, they crossed from arrangement into something neither could name but both recognized. By morning, curled together as sunlight painted the room gold, Maya knew 2 things with absolute certainty. She was completely in love with Ethan Cross, and Vanessa Loran was going to try to destroy them both. The article dropped Monday morning like a bomb. Maya woke in Ethan's arms, her phone already vibrating with notifications. The headline screamed across TechWire's homepage, "The Con Artist and the CEO, How Maya Torres Built a Career on Stolen Ideas and Manipulation." Vanessa Lawrence byline, 3,000 words of carefully constructed character assassination. The piece was masterful in its viciousness. It detailed Maya's time at Morrison Design, with James's fabricated accusations presented as verified fact. It included anonymous sources claiming she'd taken credit for colleagues' work, manipulated her way into client meetings, and left under a cloud of suspicion. The Catalyst campaign was positioned as the culmination of her theft, James's brilliant work that Maya had tried to steal before being discovered. But Vanessa's real genius was in connecting Maya's pattern of deception to Ethan. The article questioned his judgment, his fitness to lead a public company, his vulnerability to manipulation by attractive opportunists. It included speculation from industry insiders about whether Maya had targeted him specifically, researching his weaknesses and engineering their meeting. The piece concluded with damning subtlety. One must wonder if Ethan Cross's brilliance with technology has left him dangerously naive about human nature. As Crosstech prepares for its IPO, investors should ask whether a CEO who can be so easily deceived is fit to lead a company worth billions. Jesus Christ. Ethan's voice was rough with sleep and fury as he scrolled through the article on his own phone. She's not just attacking you. She's using you to question my competence. Maya felt sick. This is exactly what your uncle wanted. Evidence that you're too impulsive, too easily manipulated. The board will. The board will hear the truth. Ethan was already up, pacing, his mind visibly shifting into crisis management mode. Jennifer has all your evidence. We'll issue a statement, threaten defamation suits, expose Morrison's pattern of exploitation. That won't matter. Maya's voice was hollow. The narrative's already written. Vanessa made sure of that. Even if we prove she's lying, people will remember the accusation more than the correction. Her phone rang. Patricia, her voice clipped with controlled panic. Emergency board meeting in 2 hours. They're demanding Maya's immediate removal from all company association. Richard's pushing for Ethan's suspension pending a review of his judgment and decision-making capacity. Suspension? Ethan's voice went dangerously quiet. He's using this to stage a coup. Not quite, but he's building a case that you're unfit to lead the IPO process. Several board members are wavering. Patricia paused. Mr. Cross, this is serious. If Richard gets enough votes, he could force you out as CEO. The drive back to Chicago was silent, both of them locked in their own spirals of dread. Maya kept refreshing her phone, watching the article spread like wildfire, shared, commented on, dissected by thousands of strangers who decided she was a villain without knowing her at all. David called. Maya, what the fuck is this article? People are saying you stole designs, that you're using Ethan. Tell me it's not true. It's not true. James Morrison is lying because I left after he stole my work. Then why aren't you fighting back? Why aren't you suing him? I am fighting back. We have evidence, lawyers, everything we need to prove. Then why do you sound like you've already lost? His voice cracked. Maya, I believed in you. I defended you to people saying horrible things online. Don't tell me I was wrong. You weren't wrong. David, I swear. I have to go. I can't. I need to think. The line went dead. Maya stared at her phone, tears burning her eyes. She'd lost her brother's trust. The one person whose opinion actually mattered, and Vanessa had stolen that too. The boardroom was a battlefield. 12 hostile faces. Richard at the head looking like a predator who'd finally cornered his prey. Maya sat beside Ethan, Sienna on his other side, Marcus standing against the wall like a sentinel. This article raises serious concerns. Richard began without preamble. Not just about Ms. Torres's character, which is clearly questionable, but about Ethan's judgment. He brought someone with documented professional misconduct into close association with this company. He fabricated a relationship to manipulate this board's perception. And now, as we approach our IPO, we're embroiled in scandal that's tanking our stock price in pre-market trading. The article is defamatory, Sienna countered, based on lies from a vindictive former employer. Can you prove that? Another board member challenged. Because Vanessa Laurent is a respected journalist. She wouldn't publish without verification. Vanessa Laurent is Ethan's ex-girlfriend who's been trying to damage him since their breakup, Marcus said flatly. This is personal vendetta disguised as journalism. Interesting theory, but that doesn't change the facts presented in the article. Richard pulled up financial data on the main screen. Since this story broke 3 hours ago, our pre-market valuation has dropped 8%. 8% because investors are questioning Ethan's competence. That's nearly $1 billion in value evaporated because of his poor judgment. Maya felt the weight of every eye on her. She was the billion-dollar mistake, the liability destroying everything Ethan had built. I'll resign, she said quietly. Release a statement that I'm stepping away from Crosstech, that my relationship with Ethan was a mistake. It's the fastest way to stop the bleeding. No. Ethan's voice was steel. We don't negotiate with character assassination. Ethan, be reasonable, Richard started. I am being reasonable. Vanessa's article is libel. James Morrison's accusations are demonstrably false. We have evidence, original files, witness testimony, employment records proving he's lied. We also have evidence that you've been in contact with Vanessa, uncle, that you helped coordinate this attack. Richard's expression flickered. That's a serious accusation. It's a fact. Marcus pulled out his phone, displaying email screenshots on the screen. Your assistant CC'd you on correspondence with Vanessa's office. You provided her with Maya's employment history, suggested she contact Morrison, even offered to arrange interviews with concerned board members for her piece. You orchestrated this hit job. The boardroom erupted. Some members looked shocked, others calculating, a few grimly satisfied. You betrayed your own nephew. Sienna's voice cut through the chaos. Used company resources to destroy someone because she threatened your control. That's not protecting Crosstech. That's protecting your ego. I was protecting this company from a con artist who saw an easy mark. She's not a con artist. Ethan's voice cracked like thunder. Maya Torres is a brilliant designer who was exploited by James Morrison. She left rather than enable his theft. She accepted my offer because she was desperate to support her brother after their parents died. She's done everything we asked, attended events, handled media pressure, provided actual creative direction that's improved our brand positioning. The only deception here was mine, not hers. I'm the one who dragged her into this arrangement. I'm the one who fell in love with her despite knowing it would complicate everything. So if you want to question someone's judgment, question mine. But leave her out of it. The silence that followed was deafening. Maya stared at Ethan, her heart pounding. He'd just confessed his feelings in front of the board, had just risked everything to defend her. Well, Richard said finally, his voice tight. That's quite a declaration. Though it doesn't change the fundamental. Patricia entered abruptly, grim. The investors are calling. The article's causing panic about leadership stability. Of course it is, Richard said. I'm calling for a vote. Either Ethan removes Ms. Torres and submits to a leadership review, or we move to suspend him as CEO. You can't, Sienna began. I absolutely can. I have the votes. Maya scanned the room. Sympathetic eyes. Opportunistic eyes. Richard had built his coalition. Then let's vote, Ethan said coldly. Hands rose. 6 for Richard's ultimatum. 5 against. 1 abstention. Richard smiled. You have 24 hours, Ethan. Remove Ms. Torres or face suspension. Maya felt the room tilt. Her desperation 6 weeks ago was about to destroy Ethan's career. I'm sorry, she whispered outside the boardroom. This is Richard's fault, not yours. Ethan's hand found hers. We'll figure this out. Reporters swarmed the lobby. Mr. Cross, did Maya Torres steal designs? Are you suspending her? Do you regret your relationship? Maya stepped from Ethan's protection. James Morrison lied. I have evidence the Catalyst campaign was mine. But Crosstech matters more. Effective immediately, I'm resigning all association with Crosstech and ending my relationship with Ethan Cross. She walked away, ignoring cameras, ignoring Ethan calling her name. Hours later, she arrived at the Centro Vasquez Women's Entrepreneurship Center. Elena Vasquez, its sharp-eyed founder, listened as Maya poured out everything. The wrong door, Ethan, Morrison's theft, Richard's coup. You ran, Elena said finally. I had to. He was losing everything because of me. He was fighting for you. There's a difference. James stole your work and you quit. The board attacked you and you quit. How many times will you let powerful people decide your worth? I don't have the resources. Bullshit. You had Ethan's lawyers, Marcus's loyalty, Patricia's support. You had everything but the belief you deserved to win. Elena's voice softened. Running protects you from failure. It also guarantees you'll never succeed. Elena handed her a folder. I've spoken to former Morrison employees. He's stolen from dozens. They're ready to testify. You started something when you walked away. Finish it. Maya's phone buzzed with queued messages. David, Marcus, Sienna, Patricia, Ethan, all urging her back. Her hands trembled. What would you do, she asked. I'd stop asking and decide what Maya Torres wants, Elena said. Maya thought of Ethan's workspace, of junior designers still trapped. I want to fight. Then fight. Not for Ethan's company. For you. The night became a war room. Maya called victims, gathered evidence. Christina Park, a lawyer, joined at 2 a.m. I've been building a case against Morrison. Your visibility is the leverage we need. Sienna arrived with laptops and caffeine. Marcus is managing Ethan. I'm managing you. By dawn they had a plan, brilliant or suicidal. At 6:30 Ethan called. Are you really coming back? I'm coming back as someone who fights. I love you, he said quietly. I love you too. Which is why I'm going to save your company and destroy everyone who tried to come between us. Maya walked into Crosstech at 7 a.m. like she owned the place. Employees whispered. Patricia led her to the conference room where Sienna, Marcus, and Christina waited. Where's Ethan? Maya asked. Already in the boardroom with Richard, Patricia said. Maya entered the boardroom. Richard's expression flickered. Ethan's eyes lit with relief. I thought you resigned, Richard said smoothly. I did. I'm here to give you the truth. Maya nodded to Sienna. Evidence filled the screen. Timestamped files, client communications, Morrison emails stealing her work. Christina added. I represent 7 former Morrison employees prepared to testify. Maya Torres isn't a thief. She's a victim with the courage to speak. Richard tried to dismiss it. Anyone can fabricate timestamps. Independent forensic analysis confirms authenticity, Christina said, distributing reports. Even if Morrison lied, a board member asked. What about the fabricated relationship? We did, Ethan said steadily. But what happened after wasn't fabrication, it was falling in love. Richard sneered. A love story to justify misconduct. Not justifying. Acknowledging. Ethan moved beside Maya. While we're discussing misconduct, let's talk about yours, Uncle. Marcus displayed Richard's emails coaching Vanessa Laurent to frame the article for maximum damage. This wasn't protecting the company. This was staging a coup. The board erupted. Sienna cut through. If anyone deserves review, it's you. An older board member spoke up. I've seen Maya's work online. She's talented. We treated her like a criminal because Richard manipulated us. Another revealed the market panic was just algorithmic trading. The tide turned. Maya addressed them. 6 weeks ago, I was struggling to pay rent. Ethan's offer was a lifeline. Yes, it started as a transaction. But what we built is real. Maybe instead of policing his personal life, you should let him lead the company he built. Patricia spoke quietly. Crosstech was built on seeing worth where others saw risk. Ms. Torres represents what this company used to stand for, raw talent over polish. Ethan took her hand. If loving her disqualifies me, remove me. But you'll do it knowing I chose authenticity over approval. Marcus stood. If he goes, I go. Same, Sienna said. Patricia nodded. One by one voices joined until someone moved to table the suspension vote. 8 hands rose. Motion passed. Then came a vote of no confidence in Richard. 9 hands. Richard was escorted out. The eldest board member, Margaret Chun, turned to Maya. We still face a public perception crisis. How do we handle it? Christina said, I'm filing defamation and employment fraud suits. The story will shift from scandal to whistleblower hero. And the relationship? Someone asked. We tell the truth, Maya said simply. People will accept it or not, but it'll be honest. Margaret nodded. Then let's prepare for the most honest IPO roadshow in tech history. Ms. Torres, will you handle our creative messaging? Yes, Maya said. After the board filed out, Ethan held her. You came back. I'm done running. 3 months later, Crosstech's IPO soared. The press called it the most unconventional IPO in tech history. Morrison faced fraud charges. Richard was gone. Maya had her own office as director of creative strategy, transforming Crosstech's brand into human innovation. Elena became an official advisor. David interned at Crosstech. Ethan and Maya, still together, were planning a program with Elena to support designers leaving toxic agencies. On the morning of the IPO, Ethan asked, terrified? Good terrified, Maya said. They rang the opening bell with their found family beside them. The sound marked not just a business milestone, but a personal revolution. Later, on the terrace, Maya gave Ethan a framed heart made from their torn contract. Mutual respect, honest communication, partnership without performance, love without transaction, she said. And maybe, eventually, a real wedding. Because we choose it, not because a board demands it. He kissed her. Sometimes the wrong door leads exactly where you need to be. Up next, we have 2 more incredible stories that are waiting for you. Just click the image you want to watch, and it will take you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot.